lesson 91. This is simplifying improper fractions. Now this is something we have already gone over before, and we're going to look at it a little bit deeper than you might have already seen. So this is a problem that we're going to look at together and see how simplifying improper fractions is done and what kind of circumstances come across. The problem says, after the party, some pizza was left over. There was 3/4 of a pizza in one box and 3/4 of a pizza in another box. Altogether, how much pizza was in the two boxes? So we have 3/4 of a pizza in one box, another 3/4 in another box. We want to combine it all the leftovers together and see how much do we have left. That is an addition problem. You should know that. I have 3/4 plus 3/4. When I add my fractions, my denominator does not change. Keep the denominator the same. If I add these two together, I'm not going to have 6/8 of a pizza. It's way more than that. So I have 6/4. 6/4 is improper, and the reason I know it's improper is because my numerator is greater than my denominator. That's not how a fraction should be written. It is improper. It is not correct. So 6/4 converts or simplifies, is what we call it, to 1 2/4. The way it's done is that you're simply doing 6 divided by 4. So here's my 6 divided by 4. 4 goes into 6 one whole time, and 1 times 4 is 4, so I'm going to subtract. This is normal division. My remainder is 2, and I always use my remainder. And I use my divisor to create my fraction. So my whole number is 1 because 4 goes into 6 one whole time. I have a remainder of 2. My denominator is 4, just like it was before. It did not change. 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So 1 2/4 equals 1 1/2. That's how many pizzas I have left. So we're going to then look at example 1 together, and I want you to do this along with me in your notes. I have write 8/6 as a reduced mixed number. So I am going to write it as a mixed number because it's improper. My numerator is larger than my denominator. And then I'm going to reduce it at the end. So this problem is read as 8 divided by 6. 8 divided by 6. 6 goes into 8 one whole time, minus 6. I have 2 left over. So I use my remainder and I use my divisor. 1 2 6. And I'll write that bigger over here so that way everybody can see it. I have 1 2 6. 2 6 can be reduced. I know that because both of them are even. I can divide both 2 and 6 by 2. So I'm dividing by 2 over 2. My whole number will not change. So I keep my whole number as 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So my final answer is 1 1/3. That is my reduced mixed number of 8/6. Now we're going to look at example 2 together. Now this one might be a little bit more complicated for some of you, but the whole number you're not going to actually change the whole number except for that you're breaking apart the whole number and the fraction, but once we get our answer. So I'm going to just add first, like I normally would. Whole number plus whole number, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So that's my whole number plus whole number, then fraction plus fraction. Denominator stays the same. So 7 plus 3 is 10. I cannot leave this. It's improper because 10 is greater than 8. I cannot have a numerator that's greater than my denominator when I have my final answer. So we're going to put the 2 to the side. I'm just going to move it on over here. Here's my 2. I'm going to just look at 10/8. I can simplify to 10 over 8. 8 goes into 10 one whole time, so I'm adding 1 extra whole. So 10/8 right here equals to 1 whole. It goes in 1 whole time. When I do 10 minus 8, this is my thought process. When I do 10 minus 8, I have 2 left over, so my remainder is 2. My denominator stays the same, 1 2/8. 1 1 and 2/8 can actually be reduced, the 2/8. Both can be divided by 2/2. Whole number stays the same. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 1 and 1/4, that's what 10/8 equals to. Remember, I put my 2 over to the side for a reason. I broke apart the 10/8. I simplified it because it was improper. It equals to 1 and 1/4, but I still have my 2 over here. So I know this is a lot of steps, but this is my mixed number, and I'm just breaking them apart, but I'm going to put them back together in the end. I need to figure out what 10/8 equals to. It equals to 1 and 1/4. Then I add it over to my 2. So 2 plus 1 and 1/4, because that's what all of this together equals to. So my final answer then becomes 3 and 1/4. I know that was a lot of steps, but this is just simplifying the improper fraction, and then we just put it all together at the end. And then I also did reduce, because if you can reduce, if I have 2 even numbers, I can definitely reduce. If you have a greatest common factor other than 1, then you can reduce. So if I can reduce, I have to. So that's just an added part in the mix. But my answer is 3 and 1/4. If you don't understand this, or you're not very confident about this, we will be practicing these plenty. But I want you to understand, more importantly, how to simplify improper fractions, which most of you are improving at right now. So the practice set problem that we are doing, we're going to do letters C, D, E, and F. I want you to do those, simplify them, and I will check your answers in class and as well as your notes for participation grade. Thank you very much for listening.